Okay, till the last session, right? Till the last session, what we have discussed, we have discussed about the logical backups. Okay, to differentiate, what does it mean by logical backups? You can take backup of your only logical objects. Where, what does it mean by logical objects? You can take the backup of a database, you can take the backup of a table, you can take a backup of a schema, or you can take a backup of what? You can take a backup of users, and you can take a backup of table spaces. Okay, that is the logical backup that we will call. Okay, so the today we are going to discuss about an utility called pg underscore. Okay, today we are going to discuss about a utility called pg underscore base backup. This is very important concept, and it helps you to, okay, it helps you to prepare your slave when we are going to configure the streaming replication in Postgres. Okay, when we are going to configure the streaming replication in Postgres, PG base backup is used for the initial load. Okay, so what is the difference between PG dump and PG base backup? So the PG base backup is going to take a physical backup of a database. Okay, it is going to take a physical backup of, it is going to take a physical backup of database, which means it is not going to work on a particular database, it is not going to work on a particular schema, or it is not going to work on a particular table. Okay, the PG based backup is going to work on the physical objects, which means PG based backup is going to take the backup of a entire data directory. Okay, what does that mean by data directory? Data directory is a location which contains, okay, data directory is a location which contains what? Data directory is a location which contains all the configuration files which are necessary to run the Postgres cluster. Okay, when you are taking the entire data directory location backup, and you can use this backup and you can create another instance as is. Okay, you can create another instance as is, where you need to copy this backup file and you need to uncompress the backup file. That's it. Then a new system will be spinned up with the backup of a source. This is how a PG based backup will be used. Okay, so how it differs from the normal pgdump backup? Normal pgdump backup, we cannot take the backup of a data directory. What we can do, we can take a backup of either table or schema, or the table or schema or database. And one more thing is, while taking the pg based backup, okay, while taking the pg based backup, it will not create any harm, which means the existing connections will not be dropped. And okay, the only point that I was trying to tell you here is, we can take the pg based backup, or we can initiate the pg based backup over a running postgres cluster. Okay, running postgres cluster. This pg underscore base backup, it is going to take an exact copy of the database cluster files. Okay, it is going to take the exact copy of the Postgres cluster files, and it is not possible by using PG based backup. It is not possible to take a backup of a database or database objects. So what is the tool that we have to use for taking the logical objects? If you want to take the backup of a logical objects, then you need to use PG underscore dump. If you want to take the physical data directory backup, then you need to use what? PG underscore base backup. And one more thing is, let's say if you want to take a PG based backup using hyphen using particular user, this point is very important, and this is one of the entry question. Okay, when you are planning to take a backup of PG based backup using a particular user, that user must have a replication protocol, or that user must be a super user. That we are going to see today. Okay, that we are going to see what does it mean, how to have an user with a replication protocol, and how to create a user with the replication protocol, and what are the things that we need to set up to take the, or to initiate the PG based backup. Okay, that's how it is going to work. Okay, and one more thing is, PG based backup is going to PG based back whenever we initiate the PG based backup, the connection will be the replication connection will be created. Okay, that it will be taking the backup for the replication protocol. So PG based backup is going to take backup over the replication protocol. What does that mean by replication protocol? That we are going to see now. If you remember exactly, while discussing about this host based authentication, okay, while discussing about the host based authentication, under the database tab we have a option of either all or database name or replication, which says it is a replication protocol. Okay, and one more thing is, we can take the pg base backup in a plain format, or we can take the pg base backup in a tar format. We can take the pg base backup in a plain format, or you can take the pg base backup in a tar format, and we will be having couple of options which we are going to discuss in a further session. So with that, wow. So this is the basic theory behind the PG based backup. What does it mean by PG based backup? PG based backup is a backup tool which is used to take the backup of a entire Postgres cluster. Using PG underscore based backup, it is not possible for you to take the backup of a particular database object, or to take the backup of a particular schema, or to take the backup of a particular database. Okay, and if you want to take a pg based backup, the user who is going to initiate, okay, the user who is going to initiate that pg based backup must be a super user. He must be a super user, or he must be having a replication protocol assigned to him. How to do that? That we are going to see now. And whenever you initiate the PG based backup, it is not going to impact, or it is not going to impact the any client connections. We can initiate this PG based backup. Okay, we can initiate this PG based backup at any time. Okay, at any time. That's okay. So now we will see now how we are going to implement this pg based back. Now what I am trying to do, right? I have a source. Okay, I have a source and I have a target. Very important. 190, what is the source name? 192.168.29.88 is my source. My target is 192.168.29.146 is my target. Now what I am trying to do, now what I'll initiate the pg based backup here. Okay, I will initiate the pg based backup here, and this backup file I will copy to the target, and I'll try to do what? I'll try to spin up a new instance. I will try to spin up new instance for the target. So for doing that, what I am trying to do, right? Observe carefully. Okay, here I am. Okay, page su hyphen post. I am already in the Postgres database. Here, what is the data directory we have? cd slash u02 slash postgres slash data directory, right? Here I have already one. Here already I have one data directory. What I'm trying to do on the target, I am trying to remove this data directory because I wanted to get it from where? Source. rm-rf data underscore directory. I removed data directory. Okay. Observe carefully. Okay. Now do I have anything now? If you do ls, I am in u02 postgres. If you do ls, do you have anything now? Here it is empty. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to create a directory mkdir new underscore dir, new underscore data underscore dir. Okay, I have created a new data directory here. Okay, let me go to new data directory pwd. Do you have anything here? No. Now my plan is I am going to take a backup of this database. I am going to take a not database, I'm sorry, I'm going to take a backup of this entire cluster using pg underscore base backup, and I'm going to copy this entire data. See, it is an exact copy of the data directory. Okay, it is an exact copy of the data directory. I will be showing you, okay, how it is and what it is. Okay, and we are going to do what? We are going to copy this to, okay, we are going to copy this to target, and we are going to start the postgres cluster right away. Okay, u02 to postgres data directory start. Okay, it is started now. PSQL. So to understand more on this, okay, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to drop this table space. Okay, drop table space test underscore data. Why I'm dropping this table space is PG based backup. Okay, how the PG based backup is going to behave when there is a user defined table spaces and when there are no user defined table spaces. That is one concept that we are going to discuss. And how the PG underscore base backup is going to behave when we take the plain format with the user defined table spaces and when we take the tar format with the user defined table spaces. This is very interesting things and this is very important things, okay, which we are going to discuss. That is the reason why to I don't want to make this tricky in the first class itself. That's the reason why I'm dropping the user defined table spaces. Okay, now do you have any user defined table space here? No. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to initiate the backup. Okay, I'm trying to initiate the backup. 01 bkps ls. Let me remove the old backup files here. Okay, what I'm trying to do, pg underscore base backup hyphen u postgres hyphen h 190. Is it required? It's not required. 127.0.0.1 because we are in the same system. Hyphen p 5432. Okay, hyphen p 5432. Hyphen capital is the location where you want to store the backup files. Okay, what do we have? We don't have anything, right? cd slash u01 slash backups. Array, ls hyphen ltr. It might be having some. Oh, rm hyphen rf. Some hidden files are there. Okay, that's the reason why. Okay, now we'll see ls hyphen ltr. The backup file should be empty. What is this directory array? rm hyphen rmdir. Sorry. The invalid argument. Okay, so now what I'll do, right? Somehow this hidden files got created. I don't know how. So what I will do, right? Let me exit here. Through root user, I'm going to create one more directory, mkdir hyphen p slash u01 slash base backups. Okay. Okay, now CHOWN. I'm changing the ownership. Hyphen R. Array. Okay. Postgres colon Postgres slash u01 backups. Base backups. Sorry. Base backups. Okay, now let me log into the Postgres user and let me try to recall this pg underscore base backup. Okay, pg underscore base backup. Do you need to pass any argument? It's not required. Okay, it is kind to take the backup. Now let me open a one more session and check what is happening while it is taking the pg base backup. Okay, okay, now let me log into the Postgres. su hyphen postgres cd slash u01 slash base backups lsc. Whatever the things that are there, okay, whatever the things that are there in the source data directory, all those things are getting copied to where? Into a backup location. Are you getting my point? Okay, the pg base backup is going to take an exact copy of what? Exact copy of the data directory, exact copy of the cluster files. Okay, I'm not telling it is a data directory because when we have a user defined table spaces, pg based backup is going to take the backup of them as well. Okay, that is the reason why. How can I pronounce this right? The pg based backup is going to take the exact copy of what? Exact copy of the data cluster files in the Postgres system. Okay, so if you see whatever the files that are available in this data directory of the source, all the backups are getting copied to a backup location which we have mentioned using hyphen d. It is taking some time. Let's see why. Do we have a space here? Okay, u01 we have a space. One minute. Yeah, if you see the user percentage is getting increased, which means still it is taking the backup. U01 we are taking the backup and the user percentage is getting increased, which means it is still taking the backup. As I have opened two systems in my VM, and which are having only 2 GB of space, that is the reason why we might get error or what. Because of less space, we'll check our luck. Okay, it must be done. Oh, not it. So what is the data directory? Whatever the exact what is the data directory says, it might be like 8.2 GB. Okay. God must be crazy. Crazy, crazy. Oh, still it is taking. See, still it is increasing. We'll see how much time it will take. So what is the data directory size? Our data directory size, let me check, slash u02 postgres du-sh data under 4.1 GB. So the this backup file should also be same. Okay, we'll see base backup. Cd slash u01 du-sh base backup. Okay, one more point GB. It must be done now. Yeah, it is done. So if you see, let me go to the data directory in this location. Okay, cd slash u02 postgres data directory ls. Okay, let me go to the backup location. Observe carefully. Where am I here? I am here in the backup location, not in the data directory. But if you see, all the files are exact copy of the data directory. All the copies are exact copy of the data directory. The one more file that is getting added is a backup label. Backup label is a one more file which get added. What does it mean by backup label? That we are going to see it in the tomorrow's class. Okay, it is going to give the information about the backup, PG based backup, what has happened during the PG based backup and all those things which we are going to see. What does it mean by backup method? What does it mean by backup from, and all those things we are going to see it in a later classes. For now, the PG based backup is going to create an exact copy of what? An exact copy of the entire Postgres cluster files. Now I have a backup in my location. Where I have my backup? So where I have my backup? I have on the source, I have my backup at slash u01 base backups. But on the target, okay, so I have a data directory called slash u02. Is this a data directory? No, just it is a directory slash u02 postgres slash new underscore data underscore dir. So I'll copy these files from here to here and I will start this cluster. Okay, so see, when we were talking about this PGCTL, or when we talking about the directory statuses of the Postgres, that's the reason why the basics are very important. Okay, so when we were talking about this PGCTL, or when we talking about the cluster directories or Postgres directories, so the location where we have all the necessary configuration files and the directories, we call it as a data directory. So from here, if you see, all these are the files which are needed for starting up the cluster, right? So what I am doing, I have taken the backup of these files using a PG based backup and I am moving them. Okay, and I am moving them to a location. So scp hyphen r, which recurs hyphen r star, and I'm moving it to target postgres colon, sorry, postgres at the rate 19, postgres is the username 192.168.29.146 and colon slash u02 slash postgres slash new underscore data underscore dir, password postgres. See, all the files are getting copied here. Where I am copying from the source, I am going to copy it to the target. Where am I? PWLSC. The backup files are getting copied. It's taking time, 92 MB. It will take some 2 to 3 minutes of time, I guess. Yeah. The ETA is 2 minutes 39 seconds. Let them copy it. Let it get copied so that we can check. So through which user we have taken the backup? We have taken the PG underscore base backup using a PostGres user, and the PostGres user is a super user of the PostGres cluster. That is the reason why it did not ask you for the any replication protocol and all those things. But when we are going to take a backup using another user, the user should have a replication protocol. How to do that? That we are going to see today. Okay. One table is there, which is a big table that is taking all the time to get copied. Lot of things still. Yes. Oh, one more file. That, what is the size of this? du-sh new underscore data here. Okay, 1.2 GB. Anyway, before that, so I'll show you one more thing. Let me open on the source side. Let me open the post pg underscore hp.conf. Okay, I'll show you what does it mean by this replication connection. Okay, so as I said, the pg underscore base backup should be taken over the replication connection. So why it did not throw any error, right? Whenever it is trying to connect, okay, whenever you are trying to connect it as a local host means 127.0.0.1, or if you do not specify any IP address also, that is also a local connection, right? Though it is a host connection, 127.0.0.1 only we are connecting, so it allows the replication protocol. Okay, it allows the replication protocol. That is the reason why it did not throw any error. In the next session or in the today's session, if possible, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to take, okay, I'm going to take a backup of a PG based backup using a some other user rather than Postgres, and we will try to replicate the error and we will try to resolve the error. Okay, that we will do. But for now, I think it is taking some time to copy. Let this copied, and we will try to spin up the system with the backup, and we will cover the rest of the scenarios in next two sessions. Okay, so And there are two files which are two tables which are big, so I think which and those are the things which are taking more time. It should copy like 4 GB of data. This is Do we need to do only in this way? No. You can take the PG base backup of a source from the target as well. You can sit on the target. Okay, you can sit on the target and you can take the backup of a source from the PG base backup. How can we do that? All the scenarios that we will be covering tomorrow, because this itself is a taking time to copy. So from the next time onwards, what we will do, right? We will try to take the backup from the target, backup of the source by sitting on the target. Both are on the same VM network only, but somehow it is taking time. 4 GB of data, this much time. Again, it will take. How much has been copied? 2.1 GB has been copied. More 2 GB needs to be get copied. So we can take the backup of this cluster files in a tar format also. That also we are going to see. But so there is a significant difference between taking the backups in a tar format and taking the backups in a plain format. So I wanted to differentiate. Okay. And one more thing is, and the way it behaves when we have a user defined table space, and the way it behaves when we have the way it behaves when we have a user defined table spaces will also be different. That is the reason why I wanted to show you both the plain formats and tar formats. Unfortunately, this tar plain format is taking time to copy it to the target actually, which is not predictable. Or 1 GB. With this it will get completed. Must be done with this. We'll see. Okay, it is done. Now let's check the size of the, yeah, it is 4.1 GB, same as the source. Now let me check. See, all the backup files came up. See, so technically might be it is not, we haven't created this data directory with initdb. So in our technical, I mean in our professional things, so how we will do in our traditional way, how we will do in our traditional way, we will use initdb utility to create the data directory, right? Right. So, but here what we have done, we have taken the backup of a source data directory and we copied to target and we are trying to spin up the system. Okay, now I already have the binaries in my target. The only thing which I have done is, which means I have the software installed on my system. I have created one directory and I copied the data directory of the source to target. Now what I'll do, just I'll try to start the cluster pg underscore ctl hyphen d slash u02 postgres new data directory start. Could not start the server. Why did not crash the server? New invalid permissions. Let me check one thing. What is this? ls-ltr. The permissions are read write x. Okay, the permission should be what? Let me check what should be the permissions for data directory. So it might have shown up here. The directory permission should be 0700. Okay, which means the only the postgres user should have the permissions. Okay, rest of the things should not have the permissions. Okay, let me check what is the permissions that we have here. pwd cd dot ls ltr. See, 0700. Okay, now let me give the same permissions here. How to do that? chmod, what is it? 0700 underscore data underscore directory. Now let's check the permissions. Only the Postgres user should have the permissions. The rest of the users should not have the permissions to enter into this directory. Why? If some other user has entered into the directory, he might delete the entire things. Okay, that is the reason why no one should have the access. Now it is trying to start the cluster. The cluster has been started. See, you will be able to see the exact replica of what? Exact replica of the source system. And this is the base backup is used for the, that is how a base backup is used for the streaming replication. All the users, table spaces, database and everything will be copied because it is an exact copy of the source. Okay, with that I'm winding up for today, and we will be covering more scenarios in the tomorrow's class. That's it for today, and we'll connect tomorrow. Thank you.